Hello, and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. This time we're going to play the level 63 dungeon. Now this is technically an optional dungeon, though it really isn't optional. If you want to get all the ether currents and be able to fly in the Ruby Sea region, you're going to want to do this. The side quest to unlock this will be fairly obvious, as it'll appear at a certain point during the main quest. Because we're in the Ruby Sea, because we're in an aquatic region, I made sure that Violet is appropriately attired. Now, that said, this being a level 63 dungeon that sinks to 64, you get new level 64 abilities. And the level 64 ability for Summoner is an ability called Devotion. Now, Devotion will basically cause your pet to emanate basically a 15-foot field that will provide a brief buff for whoever is in the range of that field. And it's basically a buff that's appropriate to whatever class is receiving the buff. So for DPS classes, everybody's gonna get a damage buff. Any healers in range of the move are going to get a healing buff, and tanks will get a damage down buff, or damage received down buff, I should say. It's an ability that has it's good utility if you're properly placing your pet to be near everybody in the party. Which I think only has kind of marginal use in the dungeons, but can be very useful when properly applied in like trials and raids and whatnot. Alright, so these first few pulls, mainly you kind of want to, as I recall, there are these little plants off to the side you kind of want to stay away from. They just they'll more or less annoy you, and they'll break up your moves, but they really won't hurt you that bad. But if you notice you're getting knocked back by stuff, get away. I honestly don't remember where they are. It's been a while since I've played this. When you clear out each individual room of enemies, a little geyser will appear, and you will be able to get to the next area. This entire dungeon takes place under the sea, and it's based on basically a Japanese fairy tale. Sadly, I do not remember all of the story that this is supposed to be referring to. I have been informed of the story, and it's definite. The fact that this is definitely a reference to it. Look it up if you're interested. As fate would have it, my brother and sister-in-law, who are also members of my free company that I play with, had just gotten back from a trip to Japan when Stormblood came out, so they regaled me with the whole story when we first played this. Of course, if you do know the particular tale that this is referring to, you'll catch all the references. Alright, so this first boss has a couple mechanics to worry about. You kind of want to stay mid-range, as usual. just deal with the mechanics as they come. And of course I will call them out as they come. Alright, you get targeted. You're going to get bound, and then the boss will try to kill you with his leg. You'll want to kill the leg before it kills you. Now, once the leg is destroyed, he'll get flipped over, and when he's flipped over, he takes increased damage. So put out your big hits while he's upside down. Then he'll flip back over and resume the fight as normal. He'll then summon an ad. Ads must die. When you get that circle, you'll want to spread out, because he's going to drop some AoE fields. Of course, if you can kill the ad before that attack resolves, you don't even have to worry about that. Alright, somebody else has been targeted, so he's going to attach and do the whole leg attack again. And look, there's the ad too. Now, pro tip, kill the leg first. Of course, if the ad, or if the tank manages to pull the ad in to the same place as the leg, then you can just go to town with your AoE attacks. And that's it. You've really seen all the mechanics in the fight at this point. So just keep repeating until the boss goes down. Don't forget to keep using your devotion attack like I always keep forgetting to use. I'm, sadly, to my discredit, not as proactive at putting on the buffs as I really ought to be. Alright, now the gear that you get in this dungeon is actually item level equivalent to the fully upgraded gear you would have at the end of Heavensward content. It's eye level 270. So if there's any 270 pieces you don't have, the items in this dungeon will be equivalent to that gear. It's not until the level 65 dungeon that you actually start getting improvements on your gear. So AoE tactics apply here, of course. This pull for long. Alright, Alright, so for this pull, we're going to see how the tank does it, but I'm hoping he does it in the ideal manner. You try to avoid having your pet attack the people on the far end, otherwise you might end up pulling a little more than you like. But very often, the tank will pull all the way back here, which will actually cause the archers to withdraw. Focus on the captain of the guard here, as he's going to be the toughest enemy. But again, standard AoE tactics apply. So there's that, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we should already be at the second boss. Yes, we are. Alright, so, for this boss, I like to claim a corner. And I'm going to claim this corner. And this box. These boxes will be important later in the fight. For right now, don't get next to the box like that individual did. We'll deal with the boxes momentarily. But you're going to want to stay in the back and relatively near your box. Alright, when she casts Seduce, immediately activate your box. You'll turn old! So old that you cannot be seduced, because those particular parts don't apparently work anymore. And then, of course, you will not be drawn into the middle of the arena and inevitably hit by that next attack. So that's something you gotta worry about. Whenever she tries to seduce you, you turn yourself into an old man. Okay, when you get marked by that, you need to start running, or else that's gonna happen to you. Oh, there we go. That probably really wasn't the best route pull, but I didn't want to run that beam into the other DPS, because it is inevitably the two DPS who are going to get marked by that. So just be prepared to deal with that mechanic, because you will have to deal with that mechanic. Needless to say, the timing on this is a little more challenging if you're playing as a tank or a melee DPS, because you can't be like a caster or a ranged fighter and just stay by your box. Now, and another important thing to note, if two people are near the same box, when it opens up, both people will be affected. Alright. That was, again, probably not the best. Get in there! Oh, I got it just in time. Oh, good golly. Oh, I quite nearly really screwed that up. Alright, this has not been my best performance in this fight, to be sure. I have not been guiding those beams in exactly the way I ought to have. Don't need any of those. I'm perfectly willing to roll on stuff for glamour, but I haven't seen any caster gear shows up that aren't belts and accessories, which don't really interest me as glamour pieces. Alright, there's going to be throughout this particular pole those little pufferfish over there that basically act as kind of proximity bombs. That's why the tank is pulling this particular enemy down here instead of trying to make a bigger pull, because those bombs can cause problems. Yay! See what I mean? But you get too close to those things, they'll blow up. Now, a lot of tanks will actually pull that first enemy and these three at the same time. It's a tough pull, as one who's tried to do this pull before as a tank. It's one that has, in the rare instances where I tanked this dungeon, this one has made me a little nervous. Of course, I must address the obvious that this being Shisui of the Violet Tides, these are all Violet enemies. So good old Violet Willow feeling pretty much at home in this area. If they weren't for the fact that all of them were trying to, in fact, kill her. Where's the caster gear? Ah, yes, another conventional way to make this last pull here is to pull everything into this area. Let's see if I can remember to actually use that ability there. I really don't feel any particular qualms about burning all that, because I'm going to let this cutscene run. Alright, now, regarding fighting that pretty little thing. You're definitely going to want to keep the mid-range on this, because you're going to want to be able to react to mechanics relatively quickly. And I'll drop this, but I don't know how long he's going to stay there. Yeah, he's going to cast Thick Fog. Try to get as much attacks off before he finishes casting that. He's then going to disappear. First thing you need to do is kill these ads. Now, while you're doing that, watch those little splashes in the water. That is actually where the boss is. And when all of these ants are killed, he's going to pop up out of the water. You don't want to be where he pops up. Because you'll get hurt if you're close enough. When he uses Mad Stare, turn around. The minions will come out and start randomly start targeting other party members, including you. So you're going to want to kill them. Probably cast that just in time for him to use Thick Fog again. Yep. Alright, so just like before, kill the churn enemies. See, had he popped up right there, it would have hurt me very badly. Alright, so he's on the other side of the arena right now. There we go. So now you've seen pretty much every mechanic in this fight, so it's basically just keep repeating, oh, turn away from Mad Stare. Alright. Oh, he's Thick Fog, shoot. Alright, so keep an eye out for the splashes. Right now he's down in my end of the woods. Or, I suppose technically it's a she, but... Alright, keep an eye out. She might be coming this way. Yep, so get out of the way. This will not be long now. Hopefully, we should have this down before the next Thick Fog. And there you have it. So that was Shisui of the Violet Tides. Awfully fun little dungeon. I enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So, next up is going to be a story mode trial. Specifically Susano. Pretty fun little fight. Until then, have a wonderful day.